All right, I got a special guest joining me today. Wes Higgins, longtime owner of Rattle Trap. This guy makes some of the best baits on the planet, as you know. I use a lot of their baits. The Bill Lewis SB57, the Bill Lewis ATV, the Bill Lewis Echo 1.75, and of course I occasionally also use the Rattle Trap. We're heading down to Campos Marina in Shell Beach. I'm a little bit concerned today. We had fierce west winds 2 days ago. Water is super low. We're gonna battle that today, but I'm still hopeful we can find some fish. Come along with us and let's find out. This water is very, very fishable. All right, as I mentioned, that water is super low. I mean, it's crazy low, like heart of winter, lowest of the low. So we kind of changed gears a little bit and we've run it to the MRGO and we're gonna fish this line of rocks. We're gonna throw suspending Scope Stiks, the 100 size. Water here is 8.5 feet deep. It's 60.3 degrees. That's a little bit higher than ideal, but I'm hoping there's still some nice speckled trout along this line of rocks. We'll know pretty soon. Water clarity in here, it's kind of bad by MRGO standards, but it's definitely the cleanest around, for sure. So snags are definitely part of the deal here, as these rocks come way out.
He's in that one, right?
There we go. There we go. All right. That's good. That's good. He's okay. He's going to make the cut. Wes will be taking this guy home for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a 14, 15 incher on the suspending Scope Stik. Wes, what officially is this color called? Do you know?
You know what? It's called Table Rock Shad.
Table Rock Shad, all right.
It's a lake in Missouri, right?
Yep.
But that color works everywhere. Anytime you have a little stained water,
Okay.
especially, but it's one of those cool colors that honestly is it'll work in clear water too, you know?
Well, it works in this water. We haven't been fishing long at all. I definitely kind of slowed down on that cast, let that bait fall a little more. Yeah, you got to kind of find that happy zone where you're not getting snagged in the rocks, but you're kind of just right above them. Yeah, this bite along these rocks is usually done by now, but it's been so cool. These fish have stayed in here.
How long did they stay up in the water?
Till about the end of May.
End of that when the topwater bite gets best? Like...
No, topwater bite is best well, as soon as we get water temps in the upper 60s. Like you could have a topwater bite today in the afternoon. Unlikely right now, but once that water warms up in the Marsh, it's possible. But you know, you gotta have like the 3 ingredients I look for: clean water, grass, and mullet.
I have to do the old dead stick today where
Yep.
sit for like 5 seconds.
Right. It's hard to do, but man, sometimes it's
Bite right there.
you got a bite.
That was the lure, letting it sit.
It's probably what we have to do. And that's what I got my bite on from that fish. I really slowed it way down. Man, it's beautiful right now. Supposed to blow later though.
I was just up there at Bentonville last week. We had our fishing those rivers up there a little bit later. April, May.
Oh, there we go.
Good one, good one.
Yep. I don't know. It's a keeper. Good enough. Day like today, you definitely take him. Yeah, that's a good fish. Good trout.
I'm tying me on the Table Rock Shad.
That's a good trout. I tell you what, man. Slowing way down is the key.
Yeah. That was the color I was going to pick though. Just thinking of stained water.
Yeah,
it's superior.
It's not one I've ever thrown, but I'll change that for sure.
Yeah, that was the great late Aaron Martin's favorite color.
Oh, really? Okay.
Most companies make the Table Rock Shad now. It's just kind of a staple color, you know. Faded chartreuse baits.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of that Easter egg color.
Yeah.
It just seems to get bit better than the bright chartreuse. I don't know why.
It's funny you say that because, like, we'll scrape paint off of baits just to get down to the kind of the natural.
Yeah, the bony.
Yeah, the kind of bone.
Right.
Yep. we go. There we go. He's not as big, but I think he's going to make the cut. We'll see. We'll put him on the tape. Poor guy. I hope he makes it because he will never see again. Man, they're clocking it. That's good. It's good to see. I think he's going to make it. These are my favorite ones to eat. These guys. Oh, yeah, he makes it. All right. Slow down, Todd.
Cool, man. Yeah, that's like pretty quick there.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely excited. And they are a little bit off the rocks. At least all the bites I've gotten. So you've seen me fish the floating scope stick on the edges of the marsh. I've never fished a suspending bait before, but it's like ideal for these rocks. Now the key today, at least apparently, is to fish super slow. Let that bait just kind of sit there. You can almost imagine the trout kind of staring at it, waiting for it to do something, and then when you twitch it again, they smack it. It's funny because some days they'll be in these pockets, and some days they will not. They'll only be on the points.
Hard to figure out why.
Yeah, you just got to see where they are that day. There he is. Also far out. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. I know you want to get me back and put a hook in my hand, but I prefer if you didn't. This boy's croaking. He's getting ready for the spawn. I got some bad news for you, though. Your spawning days are over. Yeah, also way out.
How long have you had the YouTube channel now? Starting to stack up.
This is 7.5 years.
You're getting near the decade mark.
I know, yeah, it's crazy, man. Yep, I started it in September of 2017. Didn't have any idea if it would work or not. It's far exceeded my hopes and dreams.
I commend you for taking the leap. It's a leap of faith.
It was a leap. Yeah, no doubt. But you know, it's amazing. Like, you know, I got 52,000 subscribers now. At the biggest Louisiana sportsman ever was, we had 42,000 subscribers. Man, it's warming up quickly. Not that I'm complaining, but
To get up to 80, and then they kind of changed the forecast.
yeah.
Get a little bit up to 70 now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we get some fierce winds in March and to a lesser degree April, but other than that, man, it's really some beautiful days. Some great fishing days. Yeah, my last trip here to the rocks, I couldn't catch them on hard plastics, but I smoked them on a jig.
Kind of use like a ball head jig, or?
Yeah, like a death grip, just a jig head. That day I used a 1/4 ounce, which you could definitely use today. With a matrix. He makes just a fantastic jig head. It's literally, you almost stab yourself taking a bait off. So you can catch 200 fish on a bait and it's not going to slide down. Just need to slow down.
Run across another patch of them.
You start pressing, you start fishing too fast.
Exactly. It's like you got to take a few deep breaths and just slow
Yep.
down. I got to take some layers off.
Yeah, I'm going to be joining you in a minute. Believe it or not, I throw that SB57 a lot along these rocks. The trout crush it.
It actually gets down. Man.
It does.
Watch that thing get 10 foot on his live scope.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Now he's throwing like 8 pounds.
Yeah, sure. Man, our bite
Yeah.
died. I
Back there, huh?
might go back and redo that drift. Oh, another boat beat me to it. Of course, you never know. Like, these fish, oftentimes,
They want more of a clear bait now.
yeah, when that sun gets up, a lot of times they shut off. What they'll do, they'll pull out, and you can catch them with a jig, but you can't catch them on hard plastics anymore.
On this hammer trap much?
No, I haven't.
I'll tell you what, it feels like. It doesn't even feel like a trap coming through the water. It feels like a chatterbait.
Really?
So much more vibration. Yeah.
Do you just cast and wind, or you twitch it?
Well, and the other thing that's different with this one than the regular OG trap.
Yeah.
The OG trap's nose heavy, so when you stop reeling it, it just
Right.
This one's got a horizontal belly weight, so it does that flutter.
Ah. Oh, there we go.
Right.
There we go. Ooh, that's a good trout.
Well, that just told us something. You paused it for a good
I
while.
know. We gotta pause. So hard to do. Ooh, that's a good trout.
Back here, just running my mouth and catching fish.
Wes was giving me a lesson on a new hammer trout. I mean, on a new. This is a hammer trout.
Scope Stiks going back in the water. Or do I need to grab a net?
Nah, I'm a flip him.
Boat flip special.
There's some days I'd net this fish. I don't want to make a mess in that
What
net.
you doing with those trout? It's soft mouths, huh?
Yep.
I hardly ever net a bass though.
Come on, dude. Come swinging this way. Nope, 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 nope. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
That's a good trout.
Solid keeper there. I bet it was sitting there for 5 seconds.
I know.
You weren't even looking at it.
No, I was looking at you.
Listening to me.
All right, Wes, we gotta get a picture with this.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna let you hold him. All right, I gotta get on this side of you because we gotta get that sun right. Just hold that rod.
Okay.
Hold the fish however you want to hold him. Just watch that bait. You good?
Yep.
All right, so Wes was giving me the rundown on that hammer trap. And I was basically not working my lure, which, man, definitely seems to be the key today. But you kind of go a little while without catching a fish and you get real keyed up. And you start pressing, trying to catch one. So you fish faster. Got to try and remind ourselves to really slow it down.
It's almost like how slow can you keep it?
Correct.
Keep your line tight.
Right. The problem is you start getting nervous. You start thinking it's gonna get down on those rocks.
I get it's a big sacrifice for a lot of people.
Oh, there we go. Super slow, Wes. That's another good trout. Good Lord.
Maybe the net on this
I
one?
don't know, we'll see. He's definitely got an opinion. He's a good fish, that's for sure. Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, that's a good trout.
Solid, man.
That's a really good trout. All right, I'm gonna let you go, dude. You're too big. Come on, settle down. There we go. Hey, Wes, if you don't mind, can you come up here? Look at this big trout. That's what you come in here for. That's a beautiful speckled trout. It's about a 3-pounder, I would bet. All right, Wes is gonna let this fish go. I had him hanging over the side to take pictures.
Triple grip is in there. Good.
Wes didn't know he was gonna have to work. Here you go.
That's one thing about
Yeah, those hooks are incredible.
Scope Stiks. They come with these must-add triple grips. They do
Yep.
work. You don't have to change the hooks or anything.
No, that is good. Because a lot of brands you do have to change the hooks. That's awesome, man.
Revive after the photo sesh.
There we go. He's good. Swam down. That's what you want to see.
You're just catching every one.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've gotten a couple bites that I did not connect on, but this is definitely a higher percentage than usual. Higher percentage of connections.
Cool to see that little Scope Stik doing so much work on these trout.
Yes. I love it. Like I said, I've never thrown the suspender, but I love the floater.
In that 4 to 6 foot range, which is probably perfect for us.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. You know, generally, suspended fish are the hardest fish to catch.
The Scope Stik's got a super erratic action to it. If you look at the lip, the way it's shaped, it's a little different than your average. It's not just your typical straight kind of oval. It flares out. What a circular, and real narrow at the throat.
Right.
So
Yeah.
It makes it really dart hard. You know, it takes real sharp turns in the water.
Right.
It'll even shoot up and down, all within like about a 1 foot diameter. You're jumping all over the place.
Super tantalizing.
Our jerk baits just go back and forth.
Sure.
Left
Yep.
to right.
Mm-hmm.
This one's up, down, all around. There's a deer. There's something. What is that?
What you see?
A little deer running down the levee. A couple of them actually.
Look at that. I've never seen that here. Every now and then I'll see them in the middle of Marsh, which is, you know, crazy. Like, where are you living? Oh, that was such a great hit. Such a great hit. Not the biggest fish, but man, it was a good hit. This one's not gonna get released. He's gonna be a good eater. I mean, believe me, he's a solid fish. Just not as big as that one I just caught. Man, he's better than I thought he was. A solid 18, 19 incher, I'd say. Man, I am a fan of the suspending scope stick. What a bait. Ridiculous. Where have you been all my life?
And I think you're proving very well that you don't need a live scope to use the scope stick.
Amen to that.
And we gave it that name because it does work really well with live scoping. You can see it.
Right.
Good. But the action is really the key to that bait.
Yeah, with that bill.
And it does that with or without a scope.
Right. That's a 17 incher. Wes is going to take him home. Such a great hit. That's the thing with throwing these hard plastics, man. It's just, there's nothing like it. You got absolutely nothing, and then you've got the rod fleeing your hands. Once again, pause is the key. Clouding up a little bit.
Yeah.
That should help us.
You throwing braid on that?
Yeah, I'm throwing braid with actually a mono leader. What are you throwing, mono?
Just fluorocarbon.
Fluoro? I gotta change these camera batteries. All right, one more cast. I'm changing batteries. Come on, fish. Don't let me down. All right, I'm gonna change batteries. This will probably be when Wes catches one.
Probably.
All right, it's warming up. I shed the coat. Water temp's now up to 61. We're hoping to scoot into the marsh at some point today, but we need this water level to rebound a bit. But believe me, this is awesome. When you can catch 17 to 22 inch speckled trout on jerk baits, why go do anything else? This has been a great year in that Margio, and as long as these water temps stay down, as long as the nights continue to get cool, these fish are going to stay in here. And when they leave, they'll fan out in the adjacent marshes.
Hammer trap, man.
Oh, you got one. There we go.
Hammer trap. Little guy.
That's a keeper.
Hey, anything to get the skunk out of the boat.
Is that a scope? Oh, no, it's a hammer. Okay.
Yeah,
Hammer trap. I gotcha.
Hammer, yeah.
I think he's a keeper. He's got to be 13, so check him out. I don't know.
Just thankful to have him on board.
Right, right. He's long and lanky, so he's got a shot.
Do not let him go. There we go. He is not quite 13.
Nope, he didn't make the cut.
But he made the boat.
Yes.
That's what matters.
Got the monkey off the back.
I thought with the clouds, I was like, let me grab that gold.
Yeah.
Kind of got cloudy and windy all of a sudden.
Right. I want to watch you fish that. Are you just cranking it? Or are you kind of working it?
I'm trying to let the nose make a little contact, but not get hung up.
Okay.
So just kind of slow roll. Kind of like fishing a chatterbait.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Give a little hop every now and then.
Right.
Did you see my rod tip?
Yep, definitely. Serious vibration.
Well, we named it a hammer trap. That joker hammers.
If you had to guess, fishing at that pace, how deep is that bait?
This 3/8 ounce, I'm gonna guess probably about 4 to 5 feet.
Okay, all right. That could be deadly out here.
Is that a wind thing or more of a tide thing?
It's a west wind.
Yeah.
What?
Pushes the water out.
Yep, pushes the water out. Yeah, west wind is, man, it makes fishing tough for a few days after it. And, you know, it was like we were talking about, it was so windy. It blew a lot of water out. And we're also right now at the bottom of a falling tide. So the tide's about to begin rising at some point. We're definitely gonna have a lull at some point. All right, we've gone a few minutes without a bite. Just to keep them honest, I'm gonna make a few casts with this green hornet matrix shad and a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. A couple weeks ago, had a really good trip in here on this exact combo. I suspect the slowdown has to do with the tide. I'm betting we're at the bottom of the fall. So what we may do is run across the MRGO to the Marsh side where we have some cuts. Those are areas that you're more likely to have a little bit of water movement with this change in the tide. Hopefully these fish turn back on when that tide starts rising. Yep, that wouldn't take long. Second cast got snagged and it's way up in there. May not be able to get it. And that's an important consideration when you come here. These rocks spill way out. And you see, you got stuff like this. You got a lot of that just under the water. Definitely not worth poking a hole in the bottom of your boat to get a bait back. So you just keep an eye on your depth finder and don't risk it. There we go, we got it. Yeah, I think we're gonna run across.
It's just the tide thing right now.
I think it's a tide, yeah, that's my guess. All right, Wes and I are gonna move across the channel and go fish the Marsh side. There's a drop off over there as well. I find typically the fish on that side are not as big, but you know, who knows? Every day's different. All right, we're now on the Marsh side. As you can see, we got like some cuts coming into the marsh here, or coming into the channel here. We should have at least a little bit of water movement at the mouths of these cuts. Hopefully that translates into a few bites. I'm sticking with the Scope Stik because they're definitely liking it today.
I think you told me once that you kind of grew up fishing down around like canals and that whole area.
Yeah, I did. I grew up fishing the MRGO up closer to the ICW with my maternal grandfather. We'd fish every Saturday and catch, you know, we fished dead shrimp on the bottom. That's how we fished.
Yeah, darn effective.
Yeah, we catch a lot of croakers, white trout, occasional speckled trout, redfish. All right, drifting the MRGO at the mouths of these cuts has been a bust. And I can look at this water and tell it's just not moving. So I'm gonna try to go into the marsh. I don't know if we can even get into it though, because the mouths of all these bayous are so shallow. But we're gonna try. If we can't, probably go fish the rocks again, try and pick up some stragglers until this tide starts rolling. All right, back in a second. All right, so far so good. We're in the marsh, 2.5 feet right here, not so bad. Water's definitely chalked up for sure. We'll see if we can catch some trout in these deeper bayous. Might be some reds in here as well, because obviously all the backwaters are empty. Sometimes you can really whack fish in this situation because they're so concentrated. We'll see if that's the case today.
I'm stacked in a deep hole.
Oh yeah, definitely. You just gotta find them. That's kind of the key, you know. They're not everywhere. I mean, look at this exposed mud bank, just crazy.
It is nice out here.
Yeah, it is. My favorite place to be. Love the marsh. This tide's killing us. That's the problem, it's just dead. It's gonna rise hard when it switches with this southeast wind. Oh, shoot, missed him. Good hit. All right, that's a good sign. Probably an 11-inch trout. Oh, there we go, didn't miss him. That's a good trout. It's a team maker. I mean, not nice compared to what we were catching the MRGO, but it's a good marsh trout.
Little depth right here, huh?
Yeah, there's a little.
What you were talking about just a minute ago.
A little channel right here. Yep. All right, let's see if that was a fluke or we had a few in here. Oh, shoot.
I just didn't think that kind of thing happened down there still.
Yeah.
Apparently it does.
Well, there we go. There's another one.
They weren't a very big boat either. You know, it wasn't that far from, yeah, catch a bunch of trout. They're just right out in the middle of that bayou, huh?
Oh, there we go. There's another one. I don't know. I think he's going to make it. I don't know. We'll see. Hope he makes it. Nope. Wishful thinking. So if you've seen my recent videos, you know the marshes are full of these guys this year. And these fish, believe it or not, just in a few weeks will be legal. Doesn't take long at all. This poor guy, he hit that bait really well.
They grow really fast?
Oh yeah. There's another one. All right, I think that's a little better one. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. He's croaking. So now we're posting up in this bayou. I can tell that the tide has switched. The water has begun to rise. And that probably explains why these fish are feeding. I got just another jig head if you want it.
How heavy of a jig head are you using?
I'm using a quarter. You could probably get by with a 3/8.
Have you fished the causeway this season?
I haven't. No, I haven't fished in a bit. The lake's got to be like this for me to fish it. You know, I can fish the trestle. There we go. Another fish. Another throwback. There's one. Man, it is the land of guppies. Frequent bites, but man, the fish are not big at all. Those bigger fish are still in that MRGO. All right, all this bayou hell was small speckled trout, mostly throwbacks. So Wes and I, we're now back at the channel. We're gonna run down, fish the rocks again. Now that this tide is definitely rising. You can see this nice tide line right here. So we'll run down to the rocks, make another pass, throw in those Scope Stiks. And if that doesn't work, we'll try something else.
Yeah, plenty of options.
Plenty of options, yes. It's an embarrassment of riches. All right, back in a sec. All right, with this high sun, this jerkbait bite along these rocks has completely died. So Wes and I are gonna make a really, really long run against this ferocious southeast wind. And we're gonna scoot back into an entirely different marsh area. Hopefully we don't get stuck. Hopefully there's enough water back there, but we'll see. And hopefully we catch a few fish. Hopefully the water's clean too. Lots of hope, we'll see. All right, Wes and I have come into a deep bayou, hoping to catch some speckled trout in this swift current. Water clarity in here is actually really good. It's not bad at all. We'll see if this bite is happening yet. Not sure. There's a ton of water that moves through this bayou, which is why it's so deep. Oh, there's, oh, I missed him.
Right there?
Yep. Gotten 2 good hits. There he is. There we go. Little baby. That's why we're not getting hooks in them.
Oh, they're just nibbling.
Yep.
Lower side arm.
There's one. All right. That feels like a good fish. There we go.
Throwing the rod up.
That's a good trout.
Keeper, yeah.
All right. Good enough.
Gotta go in the grease.
Hooked him in the eyeball. Poor guy. He won't need it.
Dude, all those at the MRGO were quality.
Yeah, they were all nice. Yeah, inside the marsh.
We had one under 13 maybe, that one I caught.
Inside the marsh, they've been small.
You get people pulling up on you out here sometimes that recognize you in the ship?
All the time, man. All the time.
You're not even running a wrap boat.
Well,
It'd be really bad if you did that.
but my boat is kind of unique. You know, it's an avid.
There's not a lot of boats like this
Right.
down here.
Yeah.
It's a nice boat,
So
by the way. I really like
Oh,
it.
thank you, man. Yeah, so it's pretty recognizable.
Small enough you can get up in the marsh.
Yeah.
You've got the hole to
Tons
get
of
across the
storage.
bigger water.
Right. Yep.
It's like my aluminum is great in here, but trying to make a run across the
Yeah.
lake,
Yeah.
it's rough.
Yeah. This is a great marsh boat. I mean, I know it's a traditional bass boat, but I used to have a bay boat. I don't miss it at all. Got a thump.
Far out. It's like 60 yards out there. They don't scoot around quite like this one, huh?
Mm-mm. There's no storage and
Right.
constantly tripping over stuff. You got a fish?
Yeah.
Get him, Wes.
He's a monster.
That's what we came in here for.
All right.
I guess the big ones haven't moved in here yet.
Hey, I'll take it.
There's one. That feels like a decent fish. Oh, frick. Goodness. Keep losing the good ones. Yeah, let's make a little move. All right, Wes and I are in hunt mode. We've tried a few different things without a whole lot of success. Caught some small trout deep, and now we're in a kind of a smallish bayou. It's only 1.5 feet in here, not a whole lot of water. I'm hoping it gets deeper in this bend up here. But I'm gonna throw this ATV in purple nurple color. Water's just okay in here. Just okay. Fishable, but not great. I'm hoping it gets better as we push deeper into this marsh. It should. Tide is rising hard, so all this marsh should be filling back up. It's a shame we can't fish the ponds, because there's some good ones around here that have, like good crankbait ponds. They'll be good this afternoon once this water gets back into them. Got him?
You missed it. Oh,
Shoot.
it blows my mind how they can hit some of the treble hooks that hard.
I know, yes. What you throwing?
It was right when he got to the deeper water too, kind of coming in.
What you throwing?
That ATV.
Oh, okay.
Kind of root beer crossover.
Oh, there's something. There we go. That's a trout. That's a good trout, I think. It's a keeper.
I bet it was a trout. If it was a red, he wouldn't have missed it. You know? Let's throw this bait here today.
That's a boxer.
Eat it. Oh yeah, that's a perfect one right there.
Yeah, he took it deep too. All right, Wes, it goes without saying, the hot bait of the day by far was that suspending scope stick. What makes that bait so productive?
Yeah, a couple of things. For one, it's easy to cast. I mean, obviously we had a lot of wind today. You can see on this clear one, that transfer weight drops right in and out. So when that weight slings to the bottom, you get ready to cast. Makes casting a lot easier. It's gonna put the weight to the tail, make it more aerodynamic. Color was key today. This is a color that's known as table rock shad in the bass world, but you know, it's long been known that the best colors have nicknames. In fact, the rattle trap, the one they call Rayburn Red, if you look it up in the catalog, it's called Red Shad. But the best ones always get nicknames, so this one earned a nickname today. When we're inshore fishing, it's called the Mr. Go. That's the Mr. Go now, all right? That's
Love
the new
it.
name for this
Love
one.
it.
All right. But the lip is another factor. You can see it's got a different kind of shape where it's real skinny at the throat and then flares out very round. And that gives it a wild action. So instead of just doing that traditional side-to-side dart, you're popping up, down, diagonal, really hopping all around within about a 1 foot diameter. Looks very natural and gets seen, gets bit. So we call it the Scope Stik because it does real well with forward-facing sonar and scoping. But you don't have to have it. We didn't use a scope at all today and caught a lot of fish. That action it has is just really key, I think.
Something else you mentioned today, which is something I really cherish about all the Bill Lewis baits, are they're phenomenal hooks. You know,
right.
a lot of brands, you really have to take the hooks off and replace them. That's definitely never true with a Bill Lewis product, is it?
Oh no, these Mustad triple grips keep them buttoned up as good as anything, especially just right out of the package. I mean, great hook.
Right. Today we fished the 100. The 120
Yeah.
Doesn't have quite as much action, but you can definitely catch some bigger fish, huh?
Yeah, and if you've got bigger bait in the area, you know, it's going to match up better with some larger pinfish or mullet or whatever. You know, it's just a bigger profile, a little different action, more of a hard charge inside to side, where this one's going to kind of flutter and hop.
Okay. Well, man, it definitely produced today. I can't wait to get out here again and fish that bait. It's the first time I fished it. You know, I fished a scope stick a lot, but I really like that floater because I'm fishing in more shallow water. But today it definitely proved its worth.
Kind of paralleled a rock pile and just got after them.
No doubt. All right, man, enjoyed it.
Thank you.
All right, man, what a fantastic day with a great guy and a great fisherman. Cannot wait to come out here and do this again. Look, like I said, that MRGO bite's gonna last as long as we have cold nights. That's the key. Once temperatures get warm and stay warm, those fish are gonna flee that MRGO. They're gonna scatter out in that marsh. The really big ones are just gonna head straight out the MRGO, go out there and spawn. But until that happens, you can have a whole lot of fun. Invest in some of those suspending scope sticks. Get the floaters if you wanna fish them in the marsh. Get the suspenders if you wanna fish that little bit deeper water. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.